Hello, it's Amin here, and I am back with the second episode of this series and of this tutorial. As I said, I will be um, focusing on Python in depth a bit, and I will be also um, doing it from the sources that are a bit more legit, like the documentation, the standard documentation of Python, and the other standard documentations. So it will be from those serious um, sources, and I will try to make them as simple as and as graspable as possible. Mm, so in this one, we'll get started with numbers, strings, and lists. So this is what with this tutorial, with this episode, you will be really understanding these basic concepts of numbers, strings, and lists, which are really fundamental to really write almost any code, like really almost any code out there. So we can get started with this snippet of code, which shows you that here we have a comment. Here we have a second comment after. This is a variable with an assignment. We have like after this we would have like n. If we try to run what is n, it will be 1, and if we try to find what is, for example, text, it should be this is some text. So we are made easy. We are putting that value we are seeing there inside this variable. So n is a variable here, variable, and n and text, of course, are variables, and text are variables, and we can put anything kind of inside of them. Here in Python, which is something which is really nice, it's not a typed programming language, which makes it a bit more readable. So in other programming languages, let's say in Java or other languages, you will have like something like int something, and down there it will be like string something. So this is mostly a number, an integer, mostly we refer to it, or if it's like this, it's a float. So if it's like this, we'll get to it later on. And this is basically a string. It's a collection of text. It's just a collection of characters, which is a text. Going forward with this, we will see how we can do a little programming calculator. So this is also like, those are like examples from the core documentation of Python. So in here we can see we can calculate 2 plus 2, like just write it in here and you will have 4. You can calculate 50 minus 5 times 6 minus 36, and you have 30 minus 30, and you will have 20. You will have 20 by 4, and this will be 5. And here you can see, for example, that this returns that kind of floating number we were talking about. So here we go into it. It's the division. It always return a floating point number, which is really important in programming sphere. There is a difference between floating point and integer, normal integer. So this would be a normal integer, and this will be a floating point number. Next will be this is a classic division, as we said, and here we have the float division. If you can remember, it's really also very important. You do it with double slash. Next will be an operator, which is really important. It's the remainder of the definition, and it's called the Modulo Operator. And here, for example, the remainder of division of 17 by 3, it's 2. If you divide 17 by 3, you will have, okay, it's 5, it will be 15, and the remainder of the division of 17 by 3 is 2. So it's 17 minus 15 equal to So here you have it. It's like 5 times 3, which is 15, plus 2 equals 17, and this 2 actually is the remainder, and you have it here. It's like the quotient plus the divisor times the divisor plus the remainder. Here we have another operator, so all of those are Python operators. So this is another operator, which is the power. So it's like 5 power 2 equal 25, and 2 power 7 is 128. Now we can go forward, as we have seen before, with those variables. We can plug this value in the variable width, and plug this operation in the variable height, and we will have something like this. 9 is 45 times 20 is 900, and we multiply with height. Here, let's try to access an undefined variable. So we'll have an error. So the error here says, okay, m is not defined. Next forward, we will, if we make an operation with a float, we will have a float even without division. But this float number or floating point number makes the whole operation goes floating point. Here we can do a little operation with tax. Tax is like 12%. The price is this one. So the price with the tax on the price is 12 dots blah blah blah. And here there is a very nice operator, or let's say functionality in Python. It's this underscore. So this underscore is the last let's say the last value stored in Python. So price plus the tax. So here we have the tax is 113, and also if for example this is the last entry, it's 14, so it will be not 13 but more like 14. So this is also to be remembered or known. Also we can round this last price here, can round it to two numbers after the dot. This is mostly all for the numbers. Can go forward with the strings. Here with the strings, we can see that we can have a single quote string. If we make some single quotes, we define a string. We can actually, if you have a single quote inside the string, you can escape it with this on backslash. It's like you have the normal slash, but you have also the backslash or the anti-slash. So it would be more the anti-slash. And here you can have it doesn't matter even if you have a quote inside, so it will be just apprehended just as a normal quote. Next one forward would be to use also you can use a double quote to surround your string. So this is also a string with double quote, and also you can insert double quotes inside of single quotes, and also when you have the double quotes you don't actually, if you use this inside the double quote, it will take it literally because you didn't do something like this. If you do something like this, okay, you will have this, but if you take it just normally like this, it will take it literally. Next one forward will be also kinda it's actually the same. So here you can print this sentence this way with the print function, and it would print it without these quotes. Here you have a string s which has first line and second line, and this means with anti-slash as well, means new line. So here S, if we print S without print, this is the functionality of print somehow, is that if you just print S without the print function, you will take it, you will have it as literally entered here. If you do like with the print function, you will have first line, second line. So this is for having a new line. So we have to be careful here. If we do something like print some path, some Windows path will have something like this, but we can enter it like a raw string. So if we so this is what you have kind of seen here. So if you want to enter it like as a raw string, that's a very powerful let's say it's a very powerful utility. If you do R here, you have it as raw string, and you can have something like you can have your path normally without some weird formatting. Here you can have multiple quotes to make a multiple line string. So here, if you do it like this, you have your whole string. This is a usage of like a library or something. You go into a library, you will see the same output. Here we can do some operations on the strings. Can do like 3 times un plus yum. You will have the 3 un plus yum. You can also concatenate 2 strings just this way, with just space between them, and they will be joined together. This is useful if you wanna do a text this way. Just do it like this without anything here, and it will be concatenated. We say concatenated or joined together. We have a prefix here. If you want to do prefix plus tone, it won't work because this is a variable. It's not a string. It's not a string like here. If you do like you want to also do it the same way with this kind of parenthesis, it won't work. We'll see how it works, but it won't work this way as well. Here it will definitely work. If you want to concatenate a string variable plus a string, you have to use the plus operator. So here next we will go to the word Python. I have a variable that has word. So here we can access individual parts of the string. If you want to go to word 0, it's P. So it's the character in position 0. It's something very common in the programming languages. Most of the languages we have strings or arrays. If you're familiar with this, we'll see it later. It's arrays, or in Python they are lists. They are called lists. We'll go to it later. They are accessed the first character, the first individual, the first element of, let's say here, of the string or any other type of collection. It's accessed with the 0, position 0. Here the position 5 is n. Here, if we want to access the last character, it's -1. The second last character is -2, and we go to -6 because the word has six characters. -6 will get us to the first character. Here you can see that if we count backwards, we start at -1. Here, like n, it's -1 because 0 minus 0, they're quite the same. Here we can slice. We have the slicing of the concepts of list slicing. So here we can slice from 0 to 2. If you want to know how this slicing works, so here starts 0, 1, 2, and if we go from 0 to 2, so we will slice just those ones. It's like in between. Can't just remember it's this way. For slicing, it's in between. For indexing, it's inside. So we slice from 0, 2, we have pi. We slice from 2, 5, 2, 5, we have tau. If we slice here, we slice till 2, and from 2 to it's like we slice this and we slice this, and we have the whole word. And it will be the same if we slice on another, if we slice on like on E, it will be just the same. Let's say if we slice till 2, so it will be just till here, it's 2. If we slice after 4, it will be after 4. This is how we do it, one side slicing. If we try to access a character, an index that is bigger than the length of the string, because since it has just 4 characters, we can't go to 42. So we have an index error, strings index out of range. But when we do it with slicing, it's all fine. We just will go to the maximum, or here we will go, if we do from 42 to whatever, it will be just empty string, and it won't be an error. So this is also to keep in mind, which is also maybe useful in some situations. Here we can we will try to change the character of position 0 with G. Here tells you, okay, you can't do that because this is a string. Later on we'll see with lists we can do it, but here it's a string, we can't really do it. Forward going with it. If we wanna do it also for the slice, it doesn't work. But if we want to do, this is a normal concatenation. So if we want, we can't actually change the word, but we can create new words out of it. So we create it out of concatenation. Here we would do the same. And here there is a function that is very useful as well. It's called len. It's the length of S. We have here hello, it's 5 words, and the length of hello is 5. Moving forward, we'll go to the lists. Lists. Before we had like strings, and now we have lists. So lists, they are defined like this, very easy. It's a list of squares. So we have squares. We want to access the square at position 0. We access it. The last square, the last 3 squares here, we have them. The same slicing, the same principles of the strings apply for the lists. Here we can make a shallow copy of the squares. It's just a copy actually of this list. Here there is a difference between shallow copy and deep copy. We'll go into it in another video, a more advanced video. For now, you can just think of it just as a copy of squares. Just they share kind of the same memory address with the main list. Here we can do some concatenation, add some bigger lists. Cubes, here, if you see in this, we will create some lists of cubes. But here you can see in this, the cube of 4 is not 65, it's more 64 if we calculate it. So we can here actually in the list we can really replace. It's not like strings, but here in list we can replace the index here by 64, and we will just update the correct value. More forward, we can add a cube with the function append, another really interesting functionality of this. So if we append this number, it's the cube of 6, and we append the cube of 7, we can have the cube of 6 and the cube of 7. Next forward, we have letters from A to G. Okay. Here, if we can replace those letters, for example, from 2 to let's say from 2 to 5, it should be C, D, F. and here if we want to delete from 2 to 5, we'll do it this way, and if we want just to delete everything, we'll do it this way. And if we want to check the length, it's length of the letters, and here we can see that we can also embed lists into lists. Here if you see, we have A, it's a list, and N, it's another list. And here we can put actually this list A with the list N inside of our bigger list. And you can see that they don't, even if they don't share the same types, it's totally fine with Python. And here, if we access the x0, it's the first element of the list, it will be this one. And if we want to access the second element of the first list, it will be this, like this. This is how you would do it. So straightforward. Like if you want to do more programming, you can do something even more advanced. And this is mostly it for now. Thank you for watching.